Hi everyone, it's Aunt Fernita. Today's story is called Twice Blessed. The memory verse is one of my favorites. It's from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. It says, "He is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine." Today's message is God gives me blessings more than I can ask or imagine. Imagine getting the most wonderful gift that could ever be given to you. Imagine the excitement of opening a present and finding the one thing you have always wanted your whole life. Now imagine getting double what you expected. God enjoys giving us gifts. He often gives us more than we ask or imagine. Let's read about a woman who would agree. A woman from the town of Shunem often fed the prophet Elisha when he visited there. She knew that Elisha often passed through town. One day she and her husband talked about the prophet's visits. "I think we should have a place for Elisha to stay," she said. "What do you think?" So they decided to add a room to their house. This room was a place on the rooftop with a bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp. Elisha was so thankful to have a place to rest that he wanted to do something for the family. So he asked the woman to name anything she wanted, but the woman said she wanted nothing. Elisha's servant remembered that the woman had no children. When Elisha heard this, he knew just what to do. He knew that God loves to give gifts. So he called for the woman. "1 year from now," he said, "God will give you a child to hold in your arms." 1 year later, Elisha returned to the woman's house in Shunem. Smiling at the door were his friends, and in the woman's arms was a baby boy. The boy grew into a fine lad. One day he was helping his father in the fields. Suddenly the boy's head began to hurt. So his father called for a servant to carry him home. The mother did all she could do, but the boy grew sicker and sicker. Finally, he stopped breathing. He had died. God's gift to the Shunammite woman, the most wonderful gift she could imagine, had been taken away. The woman got on her donkey and rode as fast as she could to find Elisha. "I didn't ask for anything," she cried as she shared her grief and told the prophet about the son's death. The prophet hurried to the Shunammite's house. He went into the room where the boy was laying and prayed to the Lord. Elisha covered the boy, and the boy's body began to get warm. Elisha covered the boy again, and the boy sneezed 7 times. 7 times the boy sneezed. On the 7th sneeze, he opened his eyes, awake and alive. Elisha called the boy's mother. When she saw her son, she immediately knelt to thank God. She had been given one of the greatest gifts in life, twice. There was no doubt that God loved her. God is so good. He gave her more than she asked or imagined. And God will give you great blessings too, more than you can imagine.
This podcast is read by Fernita Buddy for Gracelink.net. Created and produced by Falvo Fowler. Post-produced by Faith Toe at Studio El Piso. The theme music is by Clayton Kinney. Animation and artwork by Giogo Godoy. The audio engineer was Karel Holness. For more information, please visit Gracelink.net.